God, it sounds like Morrissey. It really does. He wasn't like moonlighting with this band while he was with the Smiths or after the Smiths. I don't even know when this came out. This is crazy. That sounds like Morrissey.
Hey everybody, and welcome to John's Sonic Emporium for another special episode of Into the Music with mine host, Greg. Hey Greg, how you doing?
Not bad. How are you?
Yeah, I'm okay, thank you.
Good. So, I'm thinking you have a little ditty for me.
I certainly have another floor stomper. This is no, I won't say because I don't want to prejudice, but so yeah, I will give you 1,000 English guineas if you've heard of this band. Oh, you're just going to say yes anyway, aren't you? Right, so, yeah, of course. So the band is called Another Sunny Day.
My mother taught me right. Yes, I have. Pay up. I'll give you my PayPal account. Kofi. You can just do it right to Kofi.
I know that only about 30 people bought this single, so you're not one of them.
Wait, what the hell? You know I'm trying to get viewers and subscribers. What the hell are you doing to me? You're ruining me.
Oh yeah, before we forget, can I just say hello to our viewer in Cheltenham?
Yeah. Wait, he's gone. Wait till he comes back.
Oh, that's right. He's got choir practice, but he'll be back later.
So it's another cloudy day.
Another sunny day.
Oh, another sunny day.
And that's I'm thinking an ironic title. It's not a very sunny disposition, but anyway. And the song is called "You Should All Be Murdered." The hell are you giving me? I asked for a little ditty. You're giving me. I will give you a cast iron guarantee, Greg, that you will be uplifted by the end of this song.
You gave me. So, folks, this is one of 3 songs that John gave me. The other one was Bullet, and the other one was From Despair to Where. I mean, geez, he's just full of hope tonight.
I'm trying to push you over the edge, Greg.
You should all be murdered. You should all be murdered. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, before they all get murdered, just give me a chance to go react and come back,
Okay.
All right. God, it sounds like Morrissey. It really does. He wasn't like moonlighting with this band while he was with the Smiths or after the Smiths. I don't even know when this came out. This is crazy. That sounds like Morrissey. And even the music, it's got like that jangly sound to it. I got to start this over again. What is John doing here? That's not Morrissey. Yeah, I'm really liking this. I'm a sucker for like jingly, jangly, rhythmic songs. I mean, this was basically, I would say this is 80s or early 90s, um, probably more 80s. Yeah, and this is what was coming out of the United Kingdom, big time. It was being played on this radio station, WLIR, that we would listen to all the time. And yeah, yeah, this was just, I'm a sucker for this. I really am. Let me bring it back a little bit. I'll try to write it out. Um, yeah, I'm liking it more and more as the song's going on.
These are the people who do not deserve to live. The people who take too much, the people who don't care. The people whose lives just leave me crying in despair. The people who told me I was wrong and they were right. The people I don't want.
Oh, I love that. No, don't end. No, don't. No, no. No, 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 no. Wow, 4 minutes, 40 seconds. I guess that was long enough. But yeah, nah. I need another minute or so. Wow. That song got better and better and better as it went on. So let me ask you something, because you've done this before. You switch like paintings or pictures or so right behind you. That Smiths thing, that was not there until this episode. Is there a reason why you did that?
Well, what do you think?
So I actually stopped the reaction and I was like, is this Morrissey? It sounded just like, in fact, I think I brought it back, right, to listen, and it sounded just like Morrissey until then, like some further lines in, and then I'm like, okay, then certain tone and this and that. Okay, it's not, but it was like, holy crap, it sounded like him. And then like the song title, you should all be murdered. I mean, that's something that Morrissey would write. And the music, had that jingly, jangly kind of thing,
Exactly.
the sort of guitar sound. And what the chord changes to, it sounded very Smiths like.
Yeah.
So he's singing, and I'm not feeling the whole "we're gonna murder you" or "I want you murdered," but he's singing it, but it's a very kind of sweet type of sound, right?
Yes.
And it's all that's interesting. And I've always, and I think you know this by now, right? You know, sort of my channel. I've talked about it. The songs that I really like, love. I like jiggly jangly. Say that sometimes fast. I like that kind of stuff. I really do. I mean, I love the Smiths, and but what was going on with this song? Though it was, and I've talked about many times how I love songs that are kind of like unassuming to me or something, you know, in the beginning, and then before I know it, you know, it's got me by the, you know, by the blank hairs. It's got me, you know, it's grabbed me, and because it evolves. And this song was kind of morphing into something, not talking about change ups, kind of had the same melody, right? And the same sort of rhythmic thing. But what was happening though, guitars were coming in, and it was actually becoming more of an intense, interesting sound as the song was going, especially when he stopped singing and the guitars are really taking over. There was a point where the guitar took on like a fuzz sound, and then out of that came like these, like the solo, you know, these kind of notes that were like almost piercing, and I loved that. I love that. That really was so good. And then it came back to the fuzz, and then there was a synthesizer
Yes.
that blew me away.
Beautiful.
I loved
Beautiful.
that. Whoever came up with that, either the producer or someone in the band, they always had that, or it was maybe during recording, and they're like, you got to throw something else in. I don't know, but I don't, you know, I would love to know the genesis, because that was brilliant. It's not like it needed it. It's not like, you know, but the fact that how they came up with that sound, it was so beautiful. And yet it was so nice that they only had that. It was fleeting, you know, it made you want more, right? So you want to go back to the
6-8
song,
bars, and then that was it.
right? That's why you had to wait a little longer for me to get back on, because I listened to this again. I loved this. And then they didn't end with that. They went back into the guitar, and it sounded like it came harder than ever before. I just loved how that song musically evolved. It was so damn interesting. I loved it. I really did. Yeah. Wow.
I'm so glad.
Yeah.
I'll tell you for why before I get into it, but this is a real oddity, and not many people know about this song. I mean, there'll be, because of YouTube now, there's a few thousand more, but not many people do. And this, whenever I meet people who are into music as well, I usually give them this song as a bit of a test to see what sort of wavelength they're on and what they'll, you know. But yeah, so I'm really glad that you did like it. Do
Did
you
I
want me to
pass the
sort of go
test?
into a bit?
Yeah. Did I pass?
You'll be notified in 10 working days by post.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, do you want me to tell you a little bit more about it, the band, etc.?
No, just take us out and say goodbye.
Okay. Well, this has been real.
No, absolutely, man. I'm not letting you get away. No. Let's go. Spill it.
Okay. Picture the scene. England, 1985. The Smiths have split up. The reason I'm saying this is that the whole, you know, you cannot underestimate the massive void that was left behind when they went.
Yeah.
Music carried on and the charts and all that shite, but in terms of all indie music, there was this huge hole when they went, and other bands tried to fill it, and of course they did, and things carry on. But there was a time for about a year or two where it was just desperate, and every guy in every bedsit and bedroom across the land that was sort of a certain sensitive nature was picking up a guitar and trying to be Johnny Marr and singing them lots of songs about how girls don't understand them and all that sort of thing, and being whiny and plaintive without perhaps the acerbic humor that Morrissey brings. So there was a cassette which was given out free with the NME, the New Musical Express, called C86. And it's really famous and really, really important in indie British music. It had about 10 or 20 songs on there. And there was bands on there like Primal Scream, Soup
Yeah.
Dragons, the Bodines,
Yeah.
the Pastels, Half Man, Half Biscuit, Fuzzbox, McCarthy, who later became Stereolab, and The Wedding Present. And they're all of this certain band of this guitar-based indie music. And it became known as a sort of movement, the C68 movement. And a lot of bands followed it. And this was one of them. And they were signed to a label called Sarah's Records down in Bristol, who were an indie label band. And all of the bands were kind of that gentle, unassuming sort of pop music, of which Another Sunny Day was one. So this all gives you an idea. Now, this guy, this isn't a band, it's one man. His name is Harvey Williams, and this was a project that he put together when he was still at university. And he managed to get some studio time and did it all himself.
All the instruments. That's brilliant. Wow. Wow.
Really, it was, yeah, I thought that would blow you away. So it starts off as, I mean, I bought it because after this C86 cassette, there was lots of imitations of this came out with loads more indie stuff on there. And there was a song by Another Sunny Day called I'm in Love with a Girl Who Doesn't Know I Exist. I mean, the title says it all, really. And it was a great, very soft, mellow song. And he's whining away about girls, which is what we all did when we were 16, you know. And so I bought this single, Another Sunny Day, You Should All Be Murdered. And of course, the title's quite sort of aggressive, but it's anything but aggressive. You know, he's whining, basically, but he's whining in a beautiful way. So we needed one album called London Weekend, which I have as well, and I have all their singles on vinyl. It's great. He then went on and joined another Sarah record label band called the Field Mice, who are of the same sort of bent. They're really musical, lovely, they're not powerful, you know, they're poppy and they're great. And then I think he went on then to work for the BBC or whatever. I don't think he's in music anymore. Harvey Williams is his name.
Interesting.
And yeah, and only Another Sunny Day lasted from 1986 to 1992. I just love it. I think there's a great bass part in it. The lovely jangly guitar. I think someone once called it shambling, that kind of guitar, because it's, you know, but it, yeah, like like most bands of that time, the vocals was probably the least important part. It was getting the message out. So he doesn't have a very strong voice, but I think it perfect for what it is and getting that message across.
Yeah. He had to be a Smiths fan. He had to be influenced by the Smiths. I mean, that's just but it does take a life on of its own as the song progresses. That's what I was gonna, that if it didn't evolve like the way it did musically, that song, you could probably, it would have been accused of just being the Smiths ripoff. And what it did, and you know what, I think it's still okay to say, hey, you know, it sounds, feels, smells like, you know, the Smiths. You know, that's a lot of Smiths sort of prints on that. But how that song evolved, and you know, musically with the guitars and then the synth coming in, he made that his own. He made that his own, absolutely. And that's what was really, it was marvelous because I'm thinking for the first minute or so, this is interesting. Sounds like the Smiths, you know. What I thought was Morrissey is not. This is like a Smith sound, okay, you know. And I like the Smiths, you know. I like the Smiths. So it was interesting. And then, like I said, just, you know, the song just kind of became its own thing. And I love this. This is a revelation to me. Absolutely.
Yeah. If you listen to it again, I'd pay attention to the acoustic guitar in it that really chugs along it, and that's what drives it. If you listen to it again and try and take it apart sonically, I really love the acoustic guitar in it because it really carries the whole thing through. But yeah, it's a great listen. I think it's a fantastic song and not that well known, so it's a real treat. So our viewer will really enjoy this, I think.
I love, yeah, I definitely enjoyed it. I'm going back to it. I can't wait. It's going on the playlist,
Cool.
man. It's going on the
No, I'm
into.
glad you liked it.
It's going on the. I don't care what you or Andy or Phil say. It's going on the Into the Music playlist. You know, so there you go. That's high
There'll
praise.
be excellent. I mean, there will be people who it doesn't particularly appeal to, and I completely understand that. But I think, particularly if you like something like the Smiths, it's a it's
Yeah.
a no-brainer. I think.
I mean, what goes on the playlist, the top playlist, which I keep saying I'm gonna put out there. I will. Hey, this is what I love. So,
Cool.
Folks can hate it or whatever, but that's the beautiful thing, right? About music, about anything, about any
Yeah.
kind of art, right? You like it, you don't like it,
Exactly.
you love it. It's all subjective, and that's the beautiful part of it, right? So, folks out there who don't like this, drop your comments in. I want to hear why. And you got to bring it. And no projections or no let me know why. But otherwise, if you love this, then you should. If there's any actual one who's out there watching this, drop those comments in. I really want to hear. Yeah. And if you like it or love it, say thank you to John. Because, John, thank you.
No, you're more than welcome.
So take us out.
Well, Greg, thanks for giving me your views on this, and I'm really glad you liked it. I kind of thought you would, but great. Thanks everyone for watching. Like and subscribe, all that other stuff as well, and we'll see you on the next episode of Into the Music.